What's up, guys? Are we live? You guys see me at all? Yeah, it looks like the camera's gonna act up on me. I thought so. How you guys doing? I didn't sorry to do this. I didn't have time to finish what I was doing. I don't know what is going on with my camera. What's up, guys? And I don't have water. So my voice is going to be a little if. What's up? You guys have a great weekend? 3 and 0. 3 and 0 in sports this weekend. Just so you guys know. Ravens was easy money today. Ravens was easy money. I don't ever say that. I don't like to say that. Easy money. Easy money. Dropped the weekend. The picks that we gave out this weekend were pretty good, but we got a good week. We got a big week here in the markets this week. Got a big week. I'm actually excited for this. We have Powell on Monday. We have a lot of data. ISM manufacturing comes out. This is all data that you're going to want to pay attention to, guys. But if you could, hit that like button for me. Let me know that you're here, alive, doing well. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I thought about a lot of things this weekend, and especially from Friday and last week, that I want to work on myself and you guys, because it's the only way we're going to get better, right? I'm going to dig into that, but I actually want to make a video for that. I'll get into it like tomorrow maybe, but I'll just do it now. Let's talk about the data. We'll talk about that afterwards when I get into the SPY, when we get into some trades. Throw some trade ideas, throw some tickers in the chat so we have some stuff to go over. I don't have a script, but I know what I'm going to say. We're going to cover the data first. Real quick, we're going to cover the data, but I want to show you guys some stuff with yields and how and when those yields could come and play an effect depending on what the dollar does. You still have Ford and GM. All right, they came out with an agreement to keep the government opened. I think it was 45 days? Did you guys see that? I think it was around 45 days or so. So they're going to be doing this again. They're going to do it again. So they got the extension, but what else? But what else is it? There's still a lot going on. Right? Do we get these jobless the initial jobless claims? Can they start ticking up? Can we start seeing things head in the right direction? Is what I'm saying, right? We got one. Okay, we got one thing. So listen, the government is a big factor in why I think we went down. But we're going to find out because the S&Ps are at this 350 level, or not 350, I'm sorry. We're at this level right here. I'll show you real quick that I'm keeping my eye on. And it's this level right here. Right here. This is our, all right, so futures are above it. So there we go. We were going to find out quick. And I haven't watched Bloomberg. I have football on right now. Haven't really watched football. I've been working this weekend, so I do apologize. Big changes coming to the stream, though, as you could see. All right? I told you guys, with a little bit of time, with some work, it's coming. All right? And then what's going to come next, though? I'm getting our trades. All right? Our trades. Like I said, I've been busy doing a lot of things, trying to get the stream together, and trying to give some ideas out there when I have the time to do some research and come up with ideas. But listen, I'm telling you right now, it's coming. Y'all better watch out. And if you could, listen, it's free 99. Hit that like button. So look, let's go into the data real quick, and I'm going to give you guys some trade ideas. We're not going to make this long, but if you guys have anything you want to say to me, anything you want to throw in the chat, hit them up. Hit that chat up. Let me know what's up. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're doing well, that you're well, you had a great weekend, that you're doing good, that you're ready for this week. This is the type of, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sorry, guys. I froze. I froze because I was just looking at this chart and stuff. So But I did. I had a great week. Guys, I'm sorry that I'm smiling. I had a 3-0 weekend in sports. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, you know what I mean? It was free money. Free money. Everybody likes free money, don't they? Get on it. Guys, go to that channel if you want. If you're into sports, if you like sports gambling. We don't gamble, but if you like sports betting, go to the other videos. Go to the channel. Become a member, guys. Oregon State, BYU, and Baltimore this weekend. You can go into that when you watch the video. I'll give you guys the picks of every single one of every single one of the games that I think, and I think what side I would take for every single game. But that's neither here nor there. I just hope you guys had a great weekend, right? Because you need to be able to take that good energy and bring it into the week. We're going to get this volatility isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think, right? Until they get inflation under control. But even if you get inflation under control, we have all these rate hikes that are still coming, all right? So Tuesday or Monday, tomorrow, ISM Manufacturing. I think it's 11 o'clock. Look, Powell. 11 o'clock. Powell and Harker. Tuesday, Jolt's job openings. That's going to be big. That's what I mean. We need to start seeing things start to tick in the right direction to help this market out. Right? Because I'm going to give you guys some levels that, if we start creeping up, we're going to need a catalyst to break through some of these levels. And, we are coming into the seasonality of a bull market. Seasonally, October is green if you don't know. Right? So start thinking ahead on that. Doesn't mean we got to start off the month green. We could start the week off green. So keep that in your thoughts. When you're trading, give yourself time. What do we say? Don't sacrifice price for time. I would much rather make 20% on $1,000 or a $400 or $500 contract than 20% on a daily on $20. Right? I want 20% on $400, not 20% on $20 or 20 cents, whatever you want to call it. I call it by cents. We all know it's times 100. So, if you're new here and you have questions, throw them in the chat. I've been doing this for about 10 years. And by the way, my name is Justin. Let me start off on the right foot. So you see what happens here is I'm progressing. And what I failed to do is to set the stream up for the night. So again, that's what I'm doing. I didn't introduce myself, and I'm sorry. Because if this is your first time viewing, you should know a little bit about me if this is your first time here. Been doing this for close to 10 years now. I know the markets better than I know myself. I would at least like to think that. I don't know what the market's going to do tomorrow. I don't know what type of news we're going to get, what type of news we're not going to get. But what I do is plan for if this, then that, right? I have my levels. I'm pretty well off reading charts. And I execute without emotion. I try to. I am human. So the things that can help us out without being emotional. And you know what? That's the lesson of tonight. This is going to be the lesson of tonight. Because I had a red day Friday. Wasn't a big red day. It was bigger than I wanted it to be. Right? But I did a lot of thinking. And here we go. This is the ADHD, guys. Going from one thing to the other. So that's about what we have for the data, right? ISM PMI, ISM manufacturer. So you're getting your ISM data. All right. Jolt's job openings. We're still going to watch initial jobless claims. That every single week you should be watching initial jobless claims. You want to start seeing them tick up a little bit. That's what the Fed wants. That's how we curb demand, is by slowing the labor market. That is the only way that they're going to get this flow of money, which is velocity, right? The velocity of money. Well, if you don't know, velocity is what the Fed, it was a data point that was actually used to be brought out. They used to give you velocity, right? How fast is the money flowing is technically what it is. To dumb it down for you, right? How fast is money circulating? They want that stuff to slow, because if you slow demand, right, then supply and demand, transactions should start to slow, and the amount of transactions should start to slow down a bit. Balance of trade, exports, imports, And that's really it. Fed Mester, and then you have your usual treasury. You have your auctions. Oh yes, Friday non-farm payrolls. Big. Again, labor market, right? Labor market. So the labor market's going to be on the market's eye this week. I don't know how much the ISM manufacturing and stuff like that's going to like, how that's going to change the direction of the market. You'll probably get volatility, right? But how long does that last, right? Does it just are we just volatile when the number comes out, and you know what I mean? And let me make sure that my charts look okay too, that we're not too big, that they're not like that you guys can see everything. Yeah, we're good. We're all right. So yeah, man, we got some changes coming to the stream. I'm excited. I'm excited that you guys are here. I'm excited that you guys are having me. I'm thankful for that. And again, if you could, I'm really thankful if you could pass this along to someone else. Just hit the like, comment, good or bad. I don't care. Right? Maybe share this with someone. And subscribe. So, this is our level. This is our level we're gonna watch on the S&Ps. It's an area, right? It's pretty much an area. And I'm going to go to the daily. We're going to get into it. I have a couple trade ideas set up for you guys right here, this box. Right there is your middle. You already found support off of Wednesday's pre-market. Pre-market on Wednesday. That's now, I mean, not really, because you turned it into to resistance. Futures, we gapped up. Let's go to futures real quick, and we'll start with the ES, and then I'm going to run through charts. We have some big changes for the stream, for the live stream. If you don't know, we trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. Probably be on a bit earlier. All right. But come join us. We trade live right here for free. Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. You can join us right here on this channel. And the stream should be up if you click under live, if it doesn't automatically pop up for you. You guys see this reverse head and shoulders there? Kind of. What are we going to watch for in the S&Ps tomorrow, right? So we're gapping up. Where do we think that this could take us? And what do we want to be doing? Well, we're going to want to be buying pullbacks, right? Let's see what type of volume we have real quick. I'm just kind of curious. Because I'm telling you, man, guys, I really think that this government shutdown was the root of the markets pulling back. With a little bit of dose of, okay, how far, like, the Fed has stopped raising rates, probably. But, we don't, we're coming up to a time, because if you go back statistically as in if you were to personally take yourself, pull up Fed funds rate and like unemployment, right? From when unemployment, starts to tick up from when the Fed started raising rates. How long did it take in the past, on average, taking all the rate hike cycles into an account, roughly, the major ones, right? How long did it take for unemployment to start ticking up? Obviously there's different things going on now than there was in the past. It'll always be different, but it'll still be the same, right? It takes time. So we can expect at least a year to a year and a half until we start to see data show, hey, contraction. And we have that. I mean, if you really look at the data, we do have contraction, right? But it's just so moderate that it's like, is the market going to be worried like, okay, is the Fed going to give us another rate hike? Don't think they do. I don't think the market thinks that the Fed will, but I mean, you can always go look at Fed funds rate and all that stuff, where they're trading at, what's the the CME tool that will tell you the percentages of when he's, if they're going to raise and what will they raise, 0.25, whatever it may be. So it's a 5-minute chart here. Again, you'll have to excuse me because I was working on a couple things, but I know I'm going to go right where we left off, guys. So we got to see us break up out of this area. This whole area here. Real quick, let me do this. I'm getting ahead of myself. Michael Patterson, I appreciate you, bro. So here is let me go to the SPY real quick. All right, let's go to we can go to a daily chart or a weekly chart. So, do you guys use the mark charts? Do you guys use the marks indicators? Just curious if you do or don't. Michael Patterson doesn't, or he does. He definitely does. He knows it all. Nah, Michael Patterson, what's up, bro? Appreciate you. You ain't doing nothing to me, buddy. So look, if we get back down to 420, what does that initially take you to? What does that take you to? I guarantee you none of you know this. I guarantee it. What's important about 420? Not just 38.2 fib, right? Not any of that, right? Where would that be? From the COVID low, right? We're trying to get out of COVID. You could draw a Fibonacci, blah, blah, blah from there. None of that. That 420 level is not just important because it's resistance, a major resistance that was broken. That should become support, right? Yeah, there's your fibs climbing up, out, staging it right on up and out. What's important about that? Because if you break 420, you are technically back in a bull or bear market. Why is that? Well, guess what? What do you have here? What do we have here? Isn't that funny? This is so gay, Michael Patterson. You might can learn something, my guy. That's 20% from the low. If we take back 420, you are technically in a bear market. Bet you didn't know that. Bet you didn't know that one. It probably, listen, I don't blame you, bro, because it probably is because I've been working all weekend. That's okay. Nah, but I appreciate you, Mike. I love the comments, buddy. I want you guys to keep that in mind. I'm telling you guys right now, we're going to have algorithms hit. If 420 does break, you could start to see some volume. You know, we're going to need a reason to break. We're going to need a reason to break 420. We're going to need a reason to break 450 or 460. Right? We could just sit here in a range for quite some time, guys. This thing could just get long, stretched out, right? Everybody's talking about going higher. Everybody's talking about going lower, and we're just sitting here in between 400 and 460, right? For a year and a half, 2 years. Here is the good thing, though, that I think the bulls can appreciate, right? You guys may not know this, but I do. When you have a bear market, right, you'll have a flush in bonds, okay? You'll have a capitulation in bonds. You don't have one. You have two capitulations. And what did we just have last week? For the past 2 weeks, you just started having TLT making that extra low. All right, let's go on. There's more. All right, there's more. So, 30-year treasuries, guys. 30-year treasuries. All right, sorry. So this is why 420 is going to be important. This is what's going to cause us to break it. I'm going to show you right here. All right, let's go to a weekly chart. I want you guys to keep all this stuff on your list, on your watch. All right, because you have a major level of resistance, which is going to help us to the upside if we can't break through this. Sorry, I'm thinking I'm on Thinkorswim. All right. You can see we do have a tail. I'm telling you guys right now, we're breaking. If you break this level on the 30, the 20, whatever longer term time frame you guys want to use, you break this level, which is a pretty major level. See, look, I'm still thinking I'm on Thinkorswim. You have nothing stopping you to 5.5. And what did we say? I've said that I would not be surprised if we got to 5.5. All right. The good thing, though, is that TLT did just somewhat capitulate for the second time, which is a positive. For me, right? Because a lot of people don't know this. You'll usually get the market will start to turn itself up, right? But bonds will still let loose. They'll still just dump it out. And that's what TLT did. And you're starting to see this tail. This is telling you that move is pretty much overdone with that tail. Which is funny having it a green candle like that. They did end up closing it green. with a gap up the next day. So, and yes, I don't have anything ready for tonight. All right, 15-minute chart. Where are we headed? Weigh out your options. What have our weekly candles been? They've been around what, 3.5, 3, like close to. The weekly candles have been pretty volatile, so I'm gonna throw up. Let's see here. Let's throw up what we got here. Let's see here. What's that? 3.5, 3.5. Same thing. That's what I say, about 3%. So all right, so if we know we have support there, let's see if we can break 436, guys. This this 90 in May has been a bit of resistance here, and we had some decent volume. The whole thing is going to. I want to see how the market reacts because of the government opening back up. That's what I want to see. You know, and again, I'm sorry to say it. I don't mean to, because I really don't give a shit. But Mike's pointing out the obvious, right? Mike's pointing out the obvious. It's gay. All right, so what are you doing? Why are you here? Right? It is what it is, right? There's nothing new, guys. There's nothing new. So what are we going to look for? If this market's going to continue to the upside, where are we looking for a pullback to? 427, 428 area. All right? 427, 428 area. So Google, and that's what I'm going to look for, right? We'll see where we open up tomorrow. And we pull back in here. We start to stick it. Guess what? Where's our next target? Where's our next target? Right there. Where's that? That's probably about 1%. That's probably 1.5%, like 1.75%, I'd say. It's 1%. But up here, yeah, it's 1%. It's 1% move. That's probably where we're going tomorrow. And this is where I want to see if we break 433. If we're going to continue to the upside, you watch 433, guys. You're probably not going to break it the first time. You might, because the government, says we got 45 days of more money running around the system, right? So if it does, you're going to want to look for your bounce back, right? You're going to want to look for your bounce back in this support line. So if you want to get long tomorrow, guys, try your hardest to not fall for it. Wait until the market pulls back. Wait till you pull back into this area. It's like 427, 429. So let's not make those stupid ass mistakes. You know what I mean? And give yourself some time. Don't just think unless we wake up and there's news where the SPY is going down, because I'm telling you right now, the SPY ain't going to go up as fast as it goes down. Like if we have news to go to the upside, you're not going to make any money buying dailies expecting a big major move to the upside. We don't have that type of catalyst, right? So keep it in mind. Go out 2 weeks, go out 3 weeks, right? And wait for the pullback, because I'm sure we're going to get a pullback up at Friday's resistance area, right? You're going to get a pullback in the 430s, right? And you're going to pull it back down. You're going to test this area. We should, right? That's my personal opinion. I don't think the catalyst of the government opening back up is just going to send us up. We still got to, I feel like we're going to go up, but it could take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, right? What's going on with Ford and GM, this union stuff? What's going on with the labor market, right? We need that data to help us with the government extending their spending, right? And of course, this happens. Of course it does. It's all good, though. Guys, don't let any of that shit sweat you, right? It's all good. You know what I mean? You adapt, you overcome. All right, so look, guys, I got a couple here for you. Let's go to Google. Google's one of them. Mike must have went 3-0 this weekend too, by the way. He's getting it. And he ain't blocked. Ain't nobody blocking him. He could comment. He could do what he wants because, you know what I mean? Who gives a shit, right? We're not like some of the other groups. If you say something negative, you're going to get blocked. Nah, man, type how you feel, right? Type how you feel. It might help me. It might help me do better, right? Use it as encouragement. It's all on how you guys look at things, right? It's all on how you look at things. Look at that. What do you guys see there? What do you guys see? I'm going to tell you what I see. I think if we do get a bounce, right? Where does this take you on Google? I'm going to give you guys the long ideas. I'm going to give you some short ideas. So if we gap up, let's just say, I don't know, what is this? Where did we close? It's already a 0.5%. Wow, that was a decent move on Google, wasn't it? 2%. So that's where I think Google opens up here tomorrow. All right, I think it opens up here. So what I'm going to do is, if we get back up into this area, no, I don't want that. So if we get up here, it's 1.5%, but you're not going to get there in one day. That's my point. So you have a failed breakout on Google is what we have. Is what I'm trying to show you guys, right? This failed breakout right here. This is a failed breakout, right? You're stuck in this range, and this resistance level at 132.65. I want to see if we can get back up there because that's going to give us a decent long back up to 135, 134.50. All right, we can get rid of a lot. I don't want to get rid of this, but I can get rid of this, right? So let's go to the daily chart real quick because I think there might be, I haven't traded Google in a while, and there may be a trade. There may be a trade there. I'm looking for a trade on Google. Let's see here. All right, that's our 50. So if we break out of here, impact the government shutdown. Well, that's what I was just getting at, right? Right? It's good. You know what I mean? It's good. It's good that they came to an agreement for 45 days, right? So that's going to help. That's why we're gapping up futures, right? But we need more, right? We need the jobs data to come in decent. We need to start seeing the initial jobless claims start to tick up. We need to see Ford and GM. We need to start seeing them come to an agreement. We need these things aligned to help this market break through decent levels of resistance, right? And again, I'm going to get into them, and I apologize, not necessarily a bull trap. So I'll go back to the SPY. Look at this real quick. And NASCAR, my guy, how you doing? I'm not going to say a bull trap, but I'm going to say a slow grind. Maybe like I'm going to look to be buying pullbacks, right? But we're going to know. Like Monday, I don't think we could. Now, listen, we could. Like this whole thing, because look, we also have we already have Moody's, State Street, and the other, I can't think of the other one right now, but they're already threatening to downgrade the U.S. debt. They already have, right? They're worried about the amount of spending. They're worried about what it is that's going on in D.C. So it's like, okay, so that's one hurdle we got over. Okay, so the market's going to take that for what it's worth. That's good, right? Let me go to the SPY. I'm going to go to the SPY and I'm going to show you. But Google broke back down into this level here, guys, right? Into this range. Right here where it was stuck, right? If you cannot get Google to get back above 132.50, right? If it cannot get back above, let's say if the SPY and the markets and the Qs are going up, but Google's just like pulling back, and it's got a little bit of like, there's just something there that's not like it's not going with the markets. If I do not see a break of 132.50 like for a little bit of time, as in I'll sit and watch it. I'm going to watch time and sales level too. I'm going to watch how price action what happens while we're there. And if you get like a quick break out of it and then it pulls right back in, like let's say on a 5 minute real quick. I know you want me to get into the SPY, But let's say like we pull out, right? Like you're bouncing up, we're bouncing up, right? We're at the level, right? We sit here, we're chopping, right? We're chopping and stuff. And then you get a boop, right? You get a breakout, it pulls back, and it tries to extend. And then immediately you get like a large amount of volume, bang, brings you right back into the area, right? Like you break out, and then immediately it breaks right back down into the level. I'll be going short. Those are the couple things I'll be looking. I'll be looking to see if it's just sitting there, right? Just sitting there, 134, it pulls back, tries to go back again. All right, bulls start giving up, and then it pulls back. Because for it to just break this level, this area back down into this range kind of speaks volumes, right? Why didn't they hold? They sold Google off back into this range on purpose. This just doesn't happen for no reason. That's a big move. They did it on purpose. They could have closed this thing right at this level, maybe bounced off of it. You didn't even bounce off of it. Look at the 5-minute chart. That's a straight shot into that range. I will be looking to short bounces on Google. There's something that might be coming up with Google. I don't know what it is. Like Microsoft. Microsoft has that court date coming up with, well, it's not, is it Activision and Take-Two or something like that? That's still coming up in October. A lot of people aren't talking about that because they forgot, but that's going to be coming up from Microsoft, which we'll get into. But the SPY. So I wanted to just point that out real quick. And NASCAR, I hope you had a great weekend, bro. I don't even have live chat on. Again, I was doing a lot of work today for the stream and a lot of other stuff, so I do apologize for tonight's stream. Can we look at FEMY? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Nice. Yeah, I'll actually put that on my list too. Let's see here. I just had to. Everything is good there. I'm just actually curious to know if Michael Patterson knew whether or not that 420 level was significant, because that's technically your level to that. If it does break, you are in a bear market, right? I'm just kind of curious to know if he knew that or not, being that it's so gay. I'm just messing with you, man. But anyway, let's see here. Let's go to the SPY. I'm just going to leave Google right there. So, guys, that range, all right? The range, the top end of the range, again, is 132.50. Watch for 132.50, right? And even this area, if you see it get to like 132.75 and you start seeing it hit that resistance level, 133, and I want to see a straight shot back into this range, and I'm going to hang on Google short for at least 2-3 days, as long as it gives it to me, because we could have news, with Ford, GM, and like just different things that help the market. So I'm going to look for Google. Just keep an eye on that. Again, keep an eye to see if Google, if the markets do just kind of slowly grind higher, and Google can't, right? It's stuck in that range and it sells off. I will be looking for that. If it does break out, let me go back real quick for anybody that was paying attention. If it does break back out, I will look to get short. I will look for the long if it proves itself back to this area of 134.50, 135, and then we can look for a double top and we'll short it again, because I don't think Google's getting through that level the first time it gets there, right? That volume and that significant sell-off, right? This sell-off is, this is exactly what they did. You know how I'm sitting here telling you that that I'm looking for this 132, 133? It's an area. They took it out of 132.50, right? And they did it here, right? This is a failed breakout, and bang, right back into the area of their earnings. Oh my God, this camera's going to piss me off. I've been doing some work to the stream, guys, so I didn't have a chance to go back and make everything make everything work, make everything jive together. So forgive me. All right, forgive me on that. I think there's going to be a nice trade setting up here for Google, though. This is a failed breakout of that level, right? That's what you just had. That's bearish as you can get. I'm telling you right now. right? I'm telling you right now. And if I go to the daily, we could probably prove that thesis, right? See this range here? This was pre-market where it broke out. Resistance, resistance, resistance. And you finally break out. The market was going higher, right? Market's going higher. You break out. It sits. Bang. Gets hit with the market, right? Boop. Right back into turning that top end range into resistance. So I would look to get Google back down here. That's where I'm looking to go, right? Back down there, if not even back here, honestly, right? I wouldn't mind seeing it back down at 129, 128.75-ish, 128.50, right? That's actually going to be my target, right? Because I don't know if I showed it to you or not. But that was a failed breakout. That's all. That's all I had to say, guys. Is that range there? What did we do? You broke right out and then went right back into the range. All right, let's go to the SPY. So what do we want to look for the SPY? All right, what do we want to look for the SPY? What is the major level that we're going to look to break above and hold right here, guys? 437. Sorry. 433. 433 is a key level. Honestly, so there's two so you have to be if this then that. Because I mean, it's like it's an area. It's an area, right? So we broke out. Let me see. What the hell am I doing here, guys? I'm sorry. I apologize. So what I'm looking at is this, you know, everybody's saying how there's a reverse head and shoulder, or not a reverse, but a head and shoulders and stuff like that. I've been saying reverse head and shoulders because we've been in a bear market. Now I'm stuck saying it. I want to see this neckline here hold, right? It's an area. Remember, it's an area. Let's see here. So we sold, let me make sure that we are not, let me make sure that we broke out of it, right? Where are we right now? We are, futures are, see, look, we're having resistance there, 430. Okay, 430. So, Yaj, this is what I would look for. All right, this is what I would look for, Yaj. $430, right? Which was resistance Wednesday and Monday, right? Right here. This level right here, buddy. I'm just off tonight. This is not me. All right. So what we could have is a test of this neckline to go down further. Right? We could see we are above it. We're above it. Never mind. So that's the game plan. I'm going to look. See, it's like you have this base up here too. Right? With all this resistance. Or support, I mean. It's gonna be like, see, it's an area. It's so ugly. It's like, we're gonna call it right here, guys. It's right around here. What was that, 432? Yeah, 433. 433 is the level I'm gonna be looking for. All right, 433. All right, 433. Look at this. All right. There is 433. You see that, right? You break above, support. It broke, and what does it look like we're doing? We start getting back to 433, Yaj. You want to see if we get a pullback off of 433, right? Monday. Go, you know, you want to keep in mind, when does the data come out, right? You do have other things that can happen other than data. So if we look on Monday, there's not really anything. Oh, we do have ISM manufacturing. Okay. We do have that. And Powell. Yeah, so we do have Powell. Maybe tomorrow it breaks us out. Ken Powell, I don't think he's going to talk the markets up or down. 433 is the level I'm going to look for on the SPY to see if we get up there and we just pull it back to find support back here at 429, 428.50. is where I want to see this market. I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to happen if we're going to go higher. I can tell you what's going to happen if we're going to go higher, right? If we're going to start the trend higher, you're going to start to see everybody start to buy right here, right? Right at this level here. I'm going to make it bigger for you because, whoa, I just removed it, didn't I? Yeah, let's edit price, make it a 3 right there. All right, you see that level? All right, you see that level? Watching this resistance level, right? Support. You broke out, you gapped up above it. All right, and then Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So pretty much Monday. So you could even look at it from a weekly candle perspective too. Which I'm going to go into the 15-minute to make it easier. Look at that indecision there. There we go, right? So tomorrow, if we get a push into that level, you're going to want to expect somewhat of a pullback, right? You're going to see a light pullback right up here, and it's going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to be an area. Why did it do that? Right? Right there is where I want to see the pullback. There we go. Right there. I want to see us pull back. And what's going to tell me if we hold? Like, what's going to be telling me, like, where am I going to look to buy the dip? Where am I going to look to buy the dip at? If we get a chance, here's my plan for tomorrow. Again, we have Powell and stuff. If we wake up to a gap up tomorrow, right? Depending on wherever it's at, we could open up with a gap down. Anything could happen. But if we gap up tomorrow, I'm going to look for this area, like a retest of this area down here. Like I'm going to be looking for 428. 428 going into 428 is where I want to look to get long, right? Because I'm going to know real quick if the long is intact or not. Then I can take it from 428 and look to get it up to that 433, right? Then I can look to take it up here. What we have to do also is keep in mind your moving averages, all right? We have not retested the 100-day moving average. Another thing I want you guys to keep in mind. This also is important because I haven't said it, but let's see if we get an island reversal that takes out this this I guess you could call it a head and shoulders, right? See how we had this gap down, and we come down and we start coming back up. If we get a nice gap up, which I don't think we will because you don't want this candle to close so low on the daily, right? If this candle closed like here at 429, right? Then we could look for that, march back up and look for a gap up, right? And then it goes up a little bit and pulls back. Of course, it's all good, guys. The stream's going to be on fire tomorrow. I'm telling you right now. Just got to finish working on some stuff. That's going to be my plan, right? That's going to be my plan. I'm going to be watching to see if we're going to get up to this 100-day moving average. But I feel like we have a lot of, this support level that was broke, are we going to break through it? Is that enough to break through it? It could. But I feel like we need more. So does Powell add to it? Does the data tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, really Friday? Friday's the day I'm going to be looking to really get things going. I mean, look at the jolts, right? I think that's Tuesday. So we have a lot of data to keep us from breaking back out or to break us out, right? That, you want to take it, you want to look at your calendar so you can expect and game plan. Okay, Monday, like let's say if we did not have data until Wednesday, what would you think then? What would you think the markets would do? You would probably just float up to 433, pull it back, find support at 429, like up above that area. You probably find support at like 430, right? And just kind of just float higher, not really having any type of volatility and kind of, you know what I mean? But because we have decent data points every day, it's like, does that data support a bull market or a bear market, right? Does it support a break of this support area? Does it support it, right? Does it help the calls? Keep that in mind. Am I making any sense? All right? Am I making any sense? All right? Because, we have this happen, like we need things to start heading in the right direction. That's one. The government shutdown is just it's not avoided, right? I think it was a 45-day extension. So we're going to be talking about this in 4 weeks again. We're going to talk about it at the end of the month. You're going to see me on here talking about it at the end of the month. Now, whether that's up at 450, 420, 415, I don't know where we'll be talking about that at, right? We still have banks. So if you don't know, this is your liquidity from the Fed on what they're lending to banks. So as you've seen that rise, right? Well, it looks like it was starting to not necessarily roll over, but flatten. This is important. Why is that? Because if you start to see this rise, then that is you getting notified that the banks are getting or needing more money from the Fed because of withdrawals. I don't think we'll see it. I think we'll stay flat, maybe go up a little bit, come down. But if you start to see this rise, and what this is the liquidity and credit facility loan bank term funding program, which is what they just started for these banks, right? To help kind of bail them out. It's not bailing them out, right? It's just front. They have bonds that they don't, the Fed doesn't want the bank to take an unnecessary loss from the things that they did. So to help everything run smooth, right? They say, here, we'll give you the money for depositors in exchange for the bonds. Just, when that bond is up, we'll just switch the money. That's all that is. But if you start seeing this rise, that is telling you banks need more money. And then you can look for the market to go down. Right? And people are going to be like, why is the market going down? And they're going to look for every little freaking reason on why the banks or why the market's going down. Well, they probably don't have this on their charts. They're probably not watching this every Wednesday. Right? I do. I know where it's at. Does Chris or Matt or Michael Patterson, does he know where it's at? Does he know anything about this? You know what I mean? So, if he doesn't, maybe now he does. And it'll help him, and God bless him. I hope it helps him, and I hope it helps you guys, because it's important. So that's what we have, right? The government's good. Let's see if we can break through this level, right? It's right here, 434, 433. Support, resistance. It was clear as day, right? It was clear as day. Support, you made it. Resistance, bank. That's your target. That's your upside target, right? That's your upside target. I'm going to go into a couple of trade ideas. But if you could, Yaj, if I'm pronouncing it right, Yaj, right? You have some resistance up here. I would like to see if we can, pull it back at 4:30:39. I'll go into, a 5-minute, 3-minute to show you. Let's see if futures. It would probably be beneficial to do it on the futures charts. Right, but see if we pull it back, right? You start seeing this area here, which is already acting as resistance, right? But you should get a little pullback right up here, right? Right up in this area. If you're able to get a pullback, and you find that we are down here, whether it's tomorrow or whatever, 428, you want to look to be long, because you're going to know real quick if 428 isn't going to hold, that, the government wasn't enough. And it's either going to be because Powell talked the markets down, or the data didn't, support going higher. I just don't know if the markets just take off. They might. If the markets just take off, I'm going to let it be. And then what am I going to do? I could scalp a short off of that 432, 433 area. It's 432.95. 433. So you could look for a bounce, pull it back, find some support right here at 430. That's where I want to get long. This is where I want to get my long at. Right? It all depends on how we do it. Do we have a huge gap up tomorrow and then we're just selling back off to this area to bounce at like 12, 1 o'clock? Right? You got to think about those things. So, and again, if I went through the futures chart a little bit, I'd be able to, do a little bit. But again, I was a little bit busy, so working on the stream here. So here would be your support level, right? 430. So if you get to 431, 432, wait for it to pull back. You want to get long the pullbacks, and again, get some time. Get some time. This is a major level of resistance right now. Right? This whole area. I mean, you could even, you could consider it this whole area. We get our pullback, right? Right here. Sorry, my mouse is a little sticky. And Michael Patterson. What a name. No, we're not doing that here. It's so yeah, I was just saying my mouse is a little sticky, or not sticky, but it's just you breathe on it and it clicks. So if you break through here, you know what I mean? I feel like I want this area to be a bit of resistance, to be able to get a pullback into support, to get that climb higher. I don't want to just be long to be long because of the government. Unless, the candles, unless we get that momentum, right? You can come in today and know the first 15 minutes, hey, this is a momentum type of day. That's why the markets went down, was because of the government. But again, it's only 45 days. It's only 45 days. So we're going to be right back at square one. They really haven't accomplished anything. All right. Microsoft. Let's go into some stocks, guys. So we were playing Amazon, Nvidia. We had a really great week last week. Had a small red day Friday. Tomorrow morning, if you don't know, we trade live right here, Monday through Friday, 6 or 7:30 to 4, 7 o'clock. I'll be on pretty early. Come join us. We go over pre-market game plan in the morning, right? We'll cover the news. We'll see if the news is worth, if it's anything significant where we think we could get a long or a short. And let me go through whatchamacallit. Let me go through what's his name stock real quick. But come join us, right? And I'll be more prepared, obviously, because I'm gonna have levels and all that stuff. I did not buy anything. I'm still not buying anything. I still think we have a little bit more. We still have headwinds. So look, here's how I look at this. We have only felt, what is it? 2.25. I'd have to go to the Fed funds. I'd have to go to Fed funds. So I think we've felt like 2 3/4, like, under. We still have 3% interest rates to go through the system, guys. Right? I don't know if you remember in my earlier videos where I told you, go back to where we are, or go back to last year. Like if you think it takes 12 months, right, for interest rates to filter through the system, or if you think it takes 18 months, okay? If you think it takes 12 months, go back 12 months and where was the Fed funds rate? Where were rates at? Right? Where were rates at 12 months ago? Where were they? Let's say they were at 3. Let's just say they're at 3%. Right? They're at 3%. You still got 2.5 to go. You still have 2.5% to go. If it was 18 months, right? What is that? Let's just say 2.5%. 2.5% interest rates. Okay, so where are we now? You got 3.5 left to go. Right? So you technically haven't felt much. Right? You haven't really felt anything, and the data is kind of showing that. It's showing a contraction. So you guys want to remember to look at some things like that. Now, this is my own personal opinion. Right? It's my own personal opinion that I say, hey, I think it takes like 12 to 16. I'm in that 12 to 18 month camp, right? I'd say a year and a half. I'm a year and a half person, so I'll go back a year and a half. Fed funds rate, Fed funds rates or interest rates, or wherever they are a year and a half ago, and then I'll just look and say, okay, we got 2.5 percent to go, or we have 3.5 still to filter through the system, right? So we have a lot of headwinds, and the labor market does. We don't know if the Fed has to go higher, but again, this is all unknown stuff. All we do know is that the government has come to a small long-term agreement. That's good. Count it for what it's worth. Throw that quarter in the bull bucket. All right. You have Powell tomorrow. We should get a little bit out of him. So I'm going to go through Intel too. And I hope you had a great weekend, Mike. I hope you had a great weekend, bro. I had a wonderful weekend this weekend. I did a lot of work, and that's why I'm a little unprepared for the stream. But we're here, man. We're going to throw through some tickers. We'll go through some levels. And NVIDIA, look at all those levels. That's such... What is this? I usually don't have all these lines here, but we were working NVIDIA last week. Let me run through the chat real quick and grab some of these things. So, FEMY, sorry to keep you waiting, NASCAR. I got to hurry up with this stuff. Damn, bro. Nice. Dude, this could start small caps, dude. That's awesome. Nice. I mean, I don't know what to say. You're past the 200-day moving average, right? Obviously, you got that little bit of an extension. I would have thought, you obviously had some levels sitting there at what, 337, 335, call it. And you still had orders and crazy people buying up there, but they were, wow, that's parabolic. That's a nice daily close, NASCAR. That's a nice daily close. That doesn't have like this huge tail on it. You might have more. I know there was a therapeutic drug I thought last week that got approved or something, or passed an FDA to start clinical trials. I think I'll have to look on that. I'm going to be doing my research tonight, and bright and early in the morning because I was so busy this weekend. But I would look for this to see if you can, pull it back and maybe hold. 175 would be too far. You gotta hold this level at $2. $2, you gotta hold $2. That's what I would say. And then I would look to see if you can get this thing up to $6.50, $7. Right? $8. You could. This thing could go to $8. You could see this thing at oh yeah, that looks better actually. 4. That looks a lot better. So you have $4, and then the last, $7.50, $8 up in that area. This is all just chop here. You have you got tails. Like, look at this, guys. Like with small caps, like you see the tails. Like, look at that tail. If we had that on the Friday's chart, like you can see here, right? Like this is still a decently long tail, and it still had some follow through, right? 1, 2, 3. Had 3 days of upside after the big move, right? It did gap down, but it still went higher. But look here, look at that tail, look at that tail. But this here, this is a bigger move, right? What'd you get? You got a red day the next day, right? Does Michael Patterson know that? Does he know how to read charts? Does he know how to look at a candlestick, or look at charts and say, hey, that's a parabolic move, and in the manner that it closes, by looking at it, saying, you know what, you'll probably get a gap down and look for a little bit of an extension. Maybe shorts get that gap down and they start to cover, throw some longs on top of it, which will give you this little move higher. And look, they're fighting, obviously. You still made it there. It still went up, right? Still went up. And then it was like, you know what I mean? There's just, you open and you close at the same area. Boom, went red, right? So knowing things like that, having time in the system is what it comes down to. Because look, you don't have that. I mean, you have a tail there, but it's not like it's, you know what I mean? It's not like it's half the candle, right? That's a quarter of the candle. It closed. That's what's important. It closed up there, right? Look at that. That's strength. So we'll see. The volume is dying. That's the only problem. I think tomorrow with that, Going into the week, I think you get a pullback, and I think you get buyers right here. I think you start to get buyers right in here at like $1.78, $1.75, and then it floats back out at like 260 to 280, right? And I start to see this thing start to roll over, right? Could catch a bounce here. This is a major resistance level that it broke. So you could get a 2-3 day runner. That's why it went Friday. This is a nice setup. I'm going to write this down for a small cap. Appreciate you, NASCAR. This is a nice one that you brought to us. FEMY. How many shares? So it did. I mean, even the liquidity here. The liquidity's not too bad, man. Nice job, dude. Nice job, bro. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because this is a nice chart, guys, for small caps. Anybody looking at it. All right, so Intel, OGN. All right, let's see here. OGN and PFE. OGN. Comes with lows because it is sold off. Oversold stocks can bounce to the 20-day or higher, which depends on the... Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. See, I didn't grab any water. I really wasn't ready for the stream. What happened here? Did this thing change names or something? Did it change from one ticker and another company took it over or something here? That's what it looks like. Something of that nature. Or they just like randomly just something happened. Let's see here. OGN, and then what do we have? PFE. That's Pfizer's in trouble, man. If it breaks that level, guys. I mean, it already was in trouble once it broke 3650-ish. That's where you got that bit of capitulation. And look, you're starting to see them come in and buy. That is a good buying opportunity there. This might be a good one to buy here, actually. Michael, I want to thank you for your contributions, bro. I want to thank you. This is a really nice chart that, if you are looking to buy, collect a dividend, I mean, a really good sign is having volume come in like that, right? Having volume come in like that, that's just the start of something, right? You clearly have some room. I wouldn't even worry about this. You do have a support level right there, but, PFE is worth looking at. I appreciate you because I might actually think about this. I don't just buy stocks when they fall, but I will. This is on the list now because, but you can see this thing. It does do it. Like, this is what I would like to see, right? For me to buy it, right? So you had this sell off, which you just had, right? And then it gets balled up, hangs out, right? And then what do you get? You get like a nice day off. You get boop, and it starts going higher. Okay, so we have established like somewhat of a movement, right? Because this is all dead money, right? That's all dead money. But this right here with this, which is still technically a higher low. What this is like, how do I say this? Like, you're buying weakness when the stock has strength, right? It started here. It started there. And what happened is the candle closed red, right? Right here, right? The candle closed red right here. But look at that tail. What you're not seeing is all the buying in there. Yes, the candle closed red. Yes, the volume's closed. The volume bar is red. But I would consider that just about flat on the day, if not a ton of volume. So what would we look for? We would look for 32.42 to 32.50, right? And what did you get? Look at that, 32.60. You started seeing orders stepping into that, 50 area on PFE. You're like buying weakness in the midst of strength, right? You have broken the downtrend, right? It's got some strength. I mean, you don't see it here, obviously, but you saw it when you got back to that tail, that capitulation. Not capitulation, but, where it sold off to the point like, hey, they're eating it up, right? It's at that point where, the fundamentals, the fair value on it, you're going to have institutional buying. To the few that do believe in that kind of stuff. But really, this is like buying weakness, right? I would like to see, like, honestly, I want to see the uptrend already start, right? So I want to be buying. See, you don't even see it here. I can't even tell you that you're seeing it there on PFE, but you see it there. You see that nice trend, right? Boom. There's the pullback. That's weakness in the midst of strength, right? Right here, right? Right there. You're like, oh, I'm buying the top. Let it go. I'm telling you, especially with this type of volume, right? You see this volume, it ain't stopping anytime soon. Go look at energy, right? We've been calling for a pullback on energy, but that's how I like to buy stocks, right? I don't like to buy a falling knife unless it's a company that I really like. Bingo, my guy. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, bro? Did you have a good weekend, man? I hope you had a great weekend, bro. I did. I had a really good weekend. My weekend could have been better, but I worked, did a couple things, went 3-0. College football and NFL. Well, 2-0 on college. BYU, Oregon State, and then the Ravens today. I thought the Ravens was an easy matchup today, and I take that easy word. I take it very lightly because I don't say that. I don't like when people say it because nothing's easy. But that was a sweat-free game. Not that I sweat during them because I don't risk more than I can lose, but it was a good weekend. So I think the record right now is 12-2-1. I wonder if Michael Patterson can say that for himself. I wonder if Michael's 12-2-1 on the season. Fucking in the eyes of greatness, baby. You're in the eyes of greatness. And with greatness is progress, though, too, guys. Right? You guys were here some of you guys were here when this stream was just 10 of us. It was just like, you guys would see me with OBS doing this and that, but it's all good, guys. And I want to pass this on to you guys, man. It's more than the markets, right? Progress, whatever it is that you're doing in life, keep that goal in your mind all the time. Whatever's going on, good or bad, eliminate whatever, whatever. No, I can't find my words tonight. I'm sorry. I can't find my words tonight. Whatever's dragging you down, whatever bad energy is keeping you down or is just there, get rid of it, right? Change your eating, change your habits, maybe work out. Just, have your eye on the prize. Don't lose sight of your goal. Keep it going. And listen, understand that it's going to take a little bit of time, right? You guys are seeing it with me. The streams are starting to change, right? This live stream isn't that great, but, Michael Patterson, I want that for you too, bro. Things got to be pretty bad if you got to comment and say, like, on somebody else, but it's all good. What happens is you're really talking to yourself and you're telling everyone else what's going on with you. But I appreciate you, Mike. Like I said, guys, I want comments, good or bad. I appreciate it. I do. And to the day ones, y'all know who you are. My guy Bingo, Mike, NASCAR, all of y'all. Much love, guys. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys had a good weekend. So look, let me go into. So if you guys didn't see earlier, this week, what do we have to watch? We got to watch that level on yields. This is a big level, right? This is a big level. If you see the 30 and 20 years start breaking through that 4.7 level, watch out. It ain't stopping anytime soon, and it's going to 5.5 in a hurry. You're getting a bit of a parabolic move, so I'm hoping that we get our pullback because we have our look, And another thing, when you see them gap up, this is a new round of bonds, so don't get like, oh shit, we're getting a big gap up on bonds, right? You see the 2-year, you see if it has a gap up. or the 30-year, whatever it is. It could be because of the rotation in the bond dates, right? Like what it is, it's a new issue of bonds. And it just, don't pay any mind to it. So that's in my mind, guys. Right there, is that level. It's so big. That's what she said. This level here is key. I don't know if you guys have seen that. And what else? I don't know if you've seen it. I'm just going back over it for anybody that wasn't here. And I'm going to go into Microsoft NVIDIA, some of the stocks that I have on watch, which I still have to finish my list tonight because I was working. But remember where the lows were, because 420, again, is not... Okay, this is from the low. 420 is not just a major level for no reason. There's a reason why it's resistance. Okay? There's a reason why it's resistance. And that's the reason why we should go test it. That is 20% off the lows. If we break 420 and start closing below it, technically, you're going to see it on the news or CNBC and Bloomberg. You're back in a bear market. That doesn't mean we got to go to 398. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. You guys want to know my personal opinion? I think if you're expecting to buy down here, I say right now, if the market and the institutions allow you to buy there, you better do it. Because it will be the last time. Right? It will be the last time. The thing is, I think you have so many orders sitting in this whole area. I think you have so many buy orders that it's going to, like, you're going to drop and boom, it's going to get bought up. Okay, we get some volatility. We come down, bang, gets bought up again. Bought up again. And enough time goes by where you start to get some good news that the market starts going higher. A fun fact that, again, Michael Patterson may not know. The 2-year Treasury has never peaked before the low in the S&Ps. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Do you know when the 2-year peaked? Do you know where the low was, when the low was on the SPY? So if that still remains true, because every time is different, I would pray to God that it could, because I would love to be able to buy the SPY at 350. Ask yourself, do you think the market's going to give us that? No matter it's got to be pretty bad if the market is not going to sell us a 350 ticket on the S&Ps, right? Again, the 2-year Treasury has never put in the top before the low. So I'm going to explain that to you if you're not understanding. The low in the S&P, if you're not understanding what I'm saying. All right, so the low in the S&P was when? It was in October, right? Look at that 20-point day. I remember that day so vividly. You know how many times I got long the SPY that day? 4 times. I got long 4 different times. And after the 4th time, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. The low in the SPY was in October, okay? So let's go to the 2-year Treasury. All right, let's go to the 2-year. What do we have? That's a weekly chart. So for one, we just put in a new high. That's number one. Okay? That's number one. So when we thought that this was the low, or this was the high, remember this? That's March. That's March of this year. That's when, people were talking about, this could be the top in bonds. Well, it wasn't, right? And what I'm saying is, doesn't mean that the markets are going to put in a new low. Doesn't mean that they won't either. My personal opinion is I don't think the market's going to give us 350 again. I don't think we're that lucky. I don't think things are going to be that bad. I know I see that, man. Ammo, how you doing, man? We got everybody in here tonight, dude. We got the whole family in here. So back in March, so if the low was in October on the SPY, but the high was in March, right? So technically, if you want to go by that, because it's never happened, right? You've never had an interest rate cycle where this 2 year, and we just put in another high. Technically, we didn't close there, but it's still 5.1. You know, do we see a new low in the S&P? You know, with the amount of spending from the government, I'm not sure that we do. You know, I think my personal opinion is we don't. So therefore, you might get it. We might get the low. The thing, and another reason why I also don't think we will, I think that was the low, and that this time, you know, is different, and it's not going to happen. It happened every other time, 2080s, 2008, all that. Again, the yields or the S&P never put in the low before the top in yields. Well, the 2 year. I think that I just don't think we're going to put in another low. I don't think it's like I just can't see how it's going to get that bad. Maybe it does. Oh, what I was going to say is we just had the second leg down capitulation of treasuries, right? Or the leg up, whatever you want to call it, right? And a lot of people don't know that, like, when you chart a bear market, you know, you have about 18 months of downside stocks, right? Where stocks and bonds go down. But when stocks start to recover, bonds have that second leg of capitulation. You know, well, or I'm not going to say capitulation because it's not capitulation, but they have the second leg of downside. Like, they have further downside to go where they flush it out, you know, restart everything. And I'll show you guys a chart of that. I'll have to find it. I'll have to get it so you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? This is what professional money managers go by. They look for those things. So I know I'm not the only one that is seeing that second legged downside in TLT to say, hey, we might be getting out of this. I think we're going to get out of this. All the signs are saying we're getting out of this. You know, we can all look at it from two different ways. I'm still going to stick to, you know, 420. Don't just look at it, you know, as that level, you know, which is resistance. But again, that 420, I'm sorry. I don't have it on the low anyway. But that will take you back into technically a bear market. Right? 420 will take you back into a bear market. That's 20% off the lows. So yeah, so let's go into a couple stocks, and if you guys have any any more, I can throw them in chat. I'm going to go through like Microsoft, Nvidia real quick, AMD. I might look for another trade on AMD, and I'm really looking for this Google trade. I'm still waiting for this news with Microsoft that's going to come out here in October. Let's see here. Let me see. Sorry. All right. And listen, and again, guys, I do apologize for tonight's stream. I do. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys, like, you know, containing yourself. You know, you guys, you know, I want you guys to say what you feel. If I got to get better, just I got to do it. But again, wait till you guys see the stream tomorrow. I'm excited. Like, seriously, I'm excited to see tomorrow's stream with you guys. Like, as you can see, a lot of things are going to change. It's going to change. It's pretty cool. I'm excited, though. I'm excited. So let's go into it. Let's go to Nvidia first. So first thing we're going to do is, you know, we're going to watch the markets. We're going to see what happens when we get to that 430 level, 433. You know, we get there, we pull back. Do we hold 430, 429? You know, what does Powell say tomorrow? And again, I have to do more work. AMD has been on fire. I want to see if we're able to catch a pullback on AMD. And if we can get AMD, and I said this Friday, and it did pull back. I said, let's see if we can get the pullback to 4. Oh, I'm on NVIDIA. Same thing. They kind of look the same. Kinda. Not really, but I'm expecting the same type of trade, right? So here's NVIDIA. I've been waiting for this pullback to the 9 EMA, right? This is a daily chart. And if we look here, see, that's your... We did not close above 437, and that's okay. But I want to see a pullback back into like this red box here, which I'll probably start making it green. I want to see a pullback into here. Because you have this whole area, which would be support, right? This whole area right here. Which it did close, and it got bought up off of it, right? It got bought up off of it. It is right there, so yeah, it did. Let me go to a 4-hour chart. We'll move it in. I usually use the daily charts for a few things, right? We're still oversold a bit, right? You're still a bit oversold. All right, so that's check 1. Check 2, a little bit of volume there. You know, the selling did kind of pick up, but how much of that was buying? All right. NVIDIA, this level here, if we cannot get back above it, we got to watch for a short. Now, I don't know why this is doing it. So, guys, sorry, I'm having trouble with, my mouse is acting up. I changed the batteries on it, but, that's a pretty significant level. Can you guys see what I'm looking at? It's either my computer or that. Right here, right? This is the level I'm looking at. Right there. Right there. Right? That whole level. It did not close above it Friday. It did not hold above it. Right? As it should. It should act as a bit of resistance. Alright? I want to see if I can get long down here. Really, it's like in this area. If I want to take a long. I need to see a little bit more out of NVIDIA, because, you know, we could easily, you know, you can take the trade to the upside here, right? Let's say if we take the trade to the upside where we're at. Let's say if we open up flat, right? If we open up right here. Okay, you open up right here. Well, what's the trade? What, you break above 438 and you pull it back to hold 437? And then where are you going? Right? So like we said, like I said, a lot of this stuff we went over Friday and Thursday, right? We want to be sellers up here. Right? We want to be sellers up at 445. Really, we'd like to look for that 452 area, 453, I'm sorry, to be a seller. Right? And in order for me to be long, I need it back at this double top. It did already make its support, and it's just, you know, NVIDIA is climbing higher, right? Breaks out through a new high. You know, you got your double top right here, right? Boop, boop. And then you break out. We hold it, rally, pull back. You held Thursday's high, right? So we can continue. We'll see if we continue that. We'll see if we continue that with NVIDIA, but I feel like it'll continue until you get to that level. I don't know why this thing's doing this. Up to 452. All right, 452. No. Yeah, 452. This is a small area here. You have some support, but it just, you know, I wouldn't even... You have a double bottom here, which is significant. Because if you do find resistance here, you could potentially put in a lower high. Let me go to AMD real quick. And I know, again, guys, I apologize that I didn't have much tonight, but just give you guys a few trades. I so desperately would like to just get NVIDIA long back down here at 100. I'm gonna stand to my, you know, I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold myself to say, hey, if Nvidia isn't near $100, I'm not being long. So if you're new here and you don't know, we did call this out right here early out in chat. We trade right here live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. We called this out in chat. All right. I called this out in chat and said, guys, I literally told you what was going to happen with AMD, and it did it. And guess what? I went long with you. I was long. Right? I made money on AMD. When I tell you guys like with the SPY tomorrow and other things, like it's going to take something to get like a momentum type of day. So if there's no momentum, I don't want to trade it. Like I want this, right? I want movement. I don't want to just be in something to just get chopped around and not making any money. Yes, I can put on some swing trades, but that's, I'm not looking for this on a swing trade. You know what I mean? I called this out right here at this red box, literally, guys, and I said, these are my exact words. I said, guys, you're going to look back at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, and Nvidia's going to be up 103. You're just going to see it. 101.50, 102, 102.50, 103, 103.50, 104, and guess what? That's exactly what happened. Look at that pink line right there. To a T, guys. To a T. So this is why you should join us. I mean, I give this stuff out to you for free. And it's not just me. It's a chat, too. We're all here to work together, right? This is why we made this, is so that we can all have a place to come to have trade ideas, make great trades, and manage risk, right? We're all here to make some money, but we got to manage risk, and we got to put ourselves in the best position possible, right? And that means if we don't have this type of price action, a momentum type of day on a stock, we don't need to buy dailies. We need to buy 2, 3, 4 weeks out, whatever. We need to just give ourselves time and not sacrifice price for time. That way, because what that's doing is it's doing a disservice to yourself, thinking that you're going to get into something that has no momentum, and what happens is you're giving yourself a short contract, so you're giving yourself a short fuse to sell it and lose money pretty quickly, actually, right? You're just putting yourself in the worst position by not giving yourself some time. You need some breathing room, right? You need some breathing room. So if you're at the end of the week and the stock doesn't have this type of price action, and what it was to me were these candles, was the volume. Look at this volume. Look at this. If I take this time off, you guys are going to notice how big. This is what I talk about, RVOL. We talk about it all the time, right? Relative volume. And seeing these things and being able to identify them early enough that we can capitalize on them. Because these are the trades that you have institutions at your back to help you make the money you want to make. Okay? So next time you think about buying a daily and it's a Thursday, even if you buy a SPY daily tomorrow, go ahead. All right? Tuesday, Wednesday, fine. Just do yourself a favor and make sure that it's actually going to move, and you're not just worried about if you're the person that makes 10, 15 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, this is not for you, right? You know what I'm getting at. You're the person, if you're doing that, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's trying to force a trade, right? And again, you're doing a disservice to yourself by putting high expectations on a stock that doesn't have the momentum, right? And you're just hoping it goes or whatever. In order for you to get paid, this thing needs to move, and you want it to move. If it's not moving, give yourself time. Okay? Give yourself time. So I just think of me, like picture me right now talking to you, saying, bro, what's the volume, right? Do we have crazy green volume? Did the Fed just say that, I don't know, did the government come up to they're definitely done and Ford's done, and do we have a reason? That's all. Is there a reason to move, 5, 6 points in the SPY? I can't think clearly because it's late, but it's 11 o'clock. Wow. I got to get to bed. I'm going to be watching AMD, guys. I want to get back down to this $100 level. I'm sorry to go on so long. I hope you guys learned something. Tomorrow will be a better stream, I promise. Damn, 2 hours. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, I can't believe I went on for 2 hours. It's okay, I don't mind. But I can't believe I went on for 2 hours. There was some really good stuff in there. Sorry for the stream tonight, guys. You guys have a great night. I'll go through some of the levels and stuff tomorrow. We do have a couple people here now, so I'm not going to cut the stream off. AMD, I got to stand to my, until we're back at $99, $100, right? Until we're back at those levels, I got to say, dude, I'm not going long. And until I'm, if anything, I might want to take the short, but really, I wouldn't. I'd like to get the short up here at the 50-day moving average, right? That looks like a better spot to get short, right? You know what I mean? It looks like you got some meat left on the bone. That's where the sellers are, right? The sellers are up here. So not like, not to say that we're starting to see it now. You're starting to see the sellers step in now, right? You can see, right? You can see how red that is. And you can see, right? Resistance, 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 support, right? Resistance, resistance. It breaks above. So, but it looks like it's turning that previous resistance right here, right? It's turning this back into support, right? This is resistance that it's turning into support. But it did break. You started to see a break at the close. So just keep that in mind. That, you might want to be patient on the long. Because what's your risk to reward? Wouldn't you rather be long AMD like back down in this range at 98, or I'm sorry, 100, right? Back down here, or even better down here at 98, and then you get that move back up to like the 100-day, like 105, and the 50-day moving average, 107, okay? Or even here, up, better than what? This, up, better than, that's $1.50? And what do you got to give the stock to the room to know if you're wrong? Because AMD can still pull back down here, right? It could still pull back to here and still be bullish. It just had to retest that level to go higher. That's all. Good, man. Bingo. I'm glad, man. That's awesome. On assignments and stuff. Awesome, bro. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I did have a wonderful weekend, Bingo. Went 3-0 again, another killer weekend in sports. BYU, Oregon State, and I took the Ravens today. I sent out the Ravens for everybody today. That was my pick of the day. There was a couple more that I liked on the board, but I said let's just lock. I felt real good about the Ravens. There was a lot today to make some money on sports, but I had a great weekend, and just making money doesn't just make me happy. I worked out, cooked some food, so awesome. I'm gonna write those down. I'll go over. It's already getting a little late here. Unless anyone else has some questions. If anyone else has questions, I will. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm gonna be on pretty early. Yes, I forgot about 3M. I forgot about that. And the camera will work tomorrow. I've been doing a lot of work on the stream. So I've been trying to make this a lot better and stuff like that for us. So yeah, I was working myself, buddy. I know what it's like, man. I get it. I feel. Keep the positiveness though. Keep it up. Yeah, I want to look at that. Yeah, I'll probably, if nobody else has any questions, like I say, I'm gonna call it a night. Come join us. I'm telling you guys, we gave you guys this trade on Thursday. We've been making some nice trades this week for free, right here. And we come out early. We go over the news. We say, all right, is this news catalyst enough to give us a decent move? Where are we at? Where are we getting long? Where are we selling? Where are we shorting? And where are we covering? All right, keep it pretty simple, What's up, Brett Eric? I appreciate that, man. What's up, Logan, man? Um, oh, okay. Okay. Oh, man. Awesome, bro. Well, look, real quick. You may not, I don't know if you've seen this or not, right? There's just a couple things that are important. There's a lot going on. So, one thing, let me know if you have heard this, all right? If anybody's told you this or pointed this out, all right? This is important because, and what I'm going to show you is that 420 level on the SPY, right? Just in case it breaks, and why it's a big deal, not just because it's resistance or support, I mean. Well, should be support, right? Not just because of that, right? I mean, there's a lot going on here, right? We had COVID. The Fed's trying to get out of COVID. So, I've had fibs there, this and that, which it's been stepping it right up, right? You may or may not have seen that, right? We just pulled back to the 38 or 23.6 fib, which is 420, right? 38.2, 50% retracement of the COVID stuff that we did. Nice, right? 420 is 20% off of our lows. So that's a big deal because if 420 breaks, you can say you're back into a bear market. I gotta redo it, but just trust me on it because I just had the numbers up. Okay, I just wanted you to see it because you said you did like and subscribe, and I appreciate that, Logan. I do. It means the world, bro. It does because there's probably somebody out there that wants to trade, that wants to find like somebody that just doesn't do like break and retest or this or that. Like knows like what's the RVOL, right? What's the catalyst? What's going on? Making the right decisions on the trades, right? And it takes time. I've been doing this for close to 10 years now. Just and like I say, not sacrificing price for time. It's okay to play weeklies. Just make sure you're getting the movement because you might find your account just like dwindling, right? So watch the 30-year, okay? For this reason, all right. There's 420, right? What is that? That's 18%, but there's your high right there. So it's 20%. You break 420, you're back into a bear market technically by technical standards, which will take you back down to the 200-day moving average. We got a lot of support down here. Anyway, that's why I'm not getting it right because I was going from the whatchamacallit. But 420 is about 20% if I'm not mistaken. I could have swore it's 20%. I'm like almost positive. And that's technically, you take back that and you're technically back down into a bear market. Where am I at? 421. What is that? 17.3%. So, let's see. Why is it coming up different? There it is, right there. That pivot high, right? You have that pivot high right there. That's 19 point something percent, almost pretty much 20%. You kind of have your this ugly head and shoulders pattern here. And it looks like what? There's your neckline. There's a break. There's your retest. See if the SPY struggles up here at 432. 433 is the level we're watching. 433 is the level we're going to have on watch. 2. The U.S. Treasury. I know it takes a while to do this. Not the 2-year. Look at the 30-year Treasury and watch it. Okay? Because you have a massive wall of resistance up there. And if it breaks, it ain't stopping until 5.5. It's pretty important. Right? It's pretty important right there. Is that a week? No, that's a monthly. Monthly looks cleaner, right? Look at that. Nothing. And look at the wick. And like I say, the gap fill there, that's only the rollover in date. So don't be like, oh shit, we're gapping up. It's only a rollover. It's only the new issued dates. That's what I'm watching. And I'll be watching the dollar and stuff. We'll be watching gold. So hopefully we pull back off of this level, right? A lot of resistance. Boom, 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 boom. Resistance. Hopefully it's resistance again. It pulls back. That's going to give us, should help us to the upside. The government open up. Like these are, just throw the quarters in the bull bucket and bear bucket, right? What's good? What's bad? Okay, we got Ford, GM. Labor market is still tight. Fed might have to raise 2 quarters there. Fed, or not Fed, but government opening up. That's a quarter for the bull side. Weigh it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yeah, and it's like, is it still going up? I actually haven't. I haven't looked at gasoline futures either in a little bit. It's been a week or two. I know it was pulling back. I know. Um. So. And again, guys, this live stream tonight, I didn't have really anything. Um. I didn't have a script or anything written or anything, or like a lot of stuff to go over. So I'm kind of just going over it because I've done a lot to the stream, and I was working on that and stuff this weekend. So I do apologize. So look, RBOB is falling. Let me see here. I don't like to look at XLE. I don't really know Thinkorswim's futures. We guys, and that's the thing. We called out rig a while ago. We've been calling oil out before before CNBC was. So we were talking about it down here at this double bottom. And we were waiting. We broke out and we were just waiting for the thing. We were just waiting, kind of just waiting, but yeah, it could. No, you're absolutely right, dude. You're absolutely right. Even just looking at XLE, look at that. Right? Look at the tail. I mean, if you want me to be honest though, you're just trending up. Look at that. You're right, man. This is still a trend. This would be, if you were to buy it right here, you'd probably know quick if the trend changes, because right now, if someone were to buy right here, you're buying weakness in the midst of strength, right? It's in an uptrend, but it's pulling back in the uptrend. So you're buying the weakness, which is what you want to do. More times than not. You know what? And that energy price, they could, because they're afraid of things slowing down, they're trying to grab every little bit of dollar they can out of oil. And I said that months ago. I'm like, guys, energy is also going to be the other contributor. It could just continue higher. And that's going to eventually hurt businesses and people's wallets and start to speed up this whatever type of recession we're going to get or not get. Are we just going to get spent? Is the government going to spend their way out of it, which would only prolong the issue? So it's pretty crazy. And look at that support there, right around that 50-day, guys. No, you're right. If I had the chance, I would like to see what it does down here. That's where I want to see. Like, that's just looking at XLE, but oh yes, and JP Morgan, I know. We were so early on JP Morgan, bro, and we had a day 2 continuation, and it gave us a third time, and I forgot about it. That was the video I was going to make this weekend. So I actually started. I said, how can I not, because I set an alert and I never got it. Didn't hear it. Something happened. How do I physically stop, or how do I physically step in and say, this is how I'm never going to miss a stock again that's on my watch list? How do I do it? And I'm going to make a video of it. It'll be a quick 5, 10, 15-minute video, and I'm going to have the whole thing set up for you guys. It's actually pretty cool. Right here. Bro, bingo. We were right there, bro. We were right here, literally debating whether or not we should buy that dip and take it to the long side. And we drew this up when JP Morgan was down here, and we're like, yo, it feels like it's headed to that range. It's feeling like it's headed to the top side of that range. And then it paused, bang, gave us that day 2, I guess day 3 continuation, you could call it. We've been really early on trades, and I've been fortunate. I'm not just saying this to make myself look, because I'm not going to do this all the time. Crypto. Everyone was saying it was BlackRock. Well, if you looked at the pattern, it was making its move. Then Alibaba back in June, right? I remember talking in chat when we were looking at that, and I'm like, I really debated on grabbing JP Morgan there, and I just did not expect that extension, guys. Swear, no, it was right here. It was right there. It was the break through the high. This is where we were talking about getting it. Look at it holding the 9 EMA. And it just went. And I looked back a few hours later, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then little did we know, you still had more to go, right? Yeah. So we will keep that. So this is where the buyers are. We know that. We'll see if they're still there, right? This is where your buyers are. So we'll look for it back down to that 144.50 area. Collins, what's up, bro? Um, and that's, man, see, that's a break of the 100-day moving average. If I moved, it may have moved because it may be, yeah, it's up a little bit. I figured. So we broke the 100-day. We'll have to see. It is. We'll see if we'll see if it can hold. I'll be watching it too. Because look, here's the thing. If TLT can pull up, because it just had its second leg to the downside, does that send the banks back down? Do we start to get that back? Because the SPY, they've been all, you guys know what I mean. Like the dollar's going up, and then some days the SPY, has been like, we went from 2023, the beginning of this year, to the end of 2022. You could just trade the SPY directly off of the dollar and just do the opposite, right? Dollar was going up, SPY was going down. I'm talking tick for tick. Same with rates. And then 10-year, right? We all started to rise, and the market was rising with rates. The 10-year, got rate as soon as it broke through. As soon as it broke through that 4%, bang, the yields in the SPY just started adverse in effect. So it was that breaking that 4% level gave you that, inverse, because yields were rising, equities were rising, dollar was rising. They were all rising together. So does TLT start to catch that bounce and banks pull back, or do they both go up together? We'll have to see and wait and find out. But yeah, I'm 433. We're gonna see, because we want to see what the data. We have a lot of data this week. Yeah, I'll go through it real quick. 433, right? I'm gonna play the SPY based on, what we have going on that day and the news that we get. That's how I'm personally gonna do it. I have not looked at charts since I looked at them a little bit Saturday morning. But until now, and Saturday morning, right, I was looking at Microsoft. Microsoft looks good. And Google, I have a couple trade ideas that I'm going into. I'm pretty much still taking some things I had last week into this week. This is the level I'm looking at. It's like 433, right? I want to see if we can break through that. But what me personally, I want to get a pullback, right? Let's say if we gap up tomorrow. And I said this on the stream to see if we start getting resistance right here at 430.27. I already said that. This was in the beginning of the stream. I said, let's see if we get that pullback. And this doesn't mean that we don't go higher, but let's see if we can pull it back. If futures hold at 427.84, call it 428. If futures hold this level, if I go to futures real quick, if I go over there, if they pull back to here and hold at 43.34, and we start climbing higher, then I'll look to wait until we get up to that which would be 433 on the SPY, 439 on futures, which would be this area up here, right, where we should have some resistance. I know that's 437 on the ES, but on the S&Ps, it's be like 433, right? 433. So I'll show you on the SPY real quick. It all depends. We get this pullback and they pull it back tonight to go higher tomorrow, and we open up right around where we were, then yeah, I'll probably take the long to 430 if we open up right around where we, a little bit above where we closed at. But the gap up we got right now, I got to be buying pullbacks. And where are the pullbacks going to come in for me to buy? They got to be at that previous resistance to make it a support area, right? That's what I'm going to look to do to catch the long, which would be, there's so much I'm thinking of, guys. I've seen this little reverse head and shoulders that's been on the SPY, but I'm also seeing I don't want to be the one to, when everyone was saying we had an island reversal, right, to the downside, I'm you have an island reversal to the upside too. You have a cup and handle, right? So I was a little, I was bullish when majority of people were bearish back here, right here. It was back here, right? This here. right? You have a cup and handle here, pulled it back, bang. They were talking about this island reversal double top. Like there's just, I have, those are two bear things. Well, I have a cup and handle. I also had an island reversal to the upside too. So it's all on how you look at it, right? Longer term daily, we pull back up, which it looks, we kind of did. But if we can't get through 433, this is, you could call it a head and shoulders, and you just broke the neckline, right? And you just retested it, right? There's, I guess left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You broke it. You broke the neckline. You bounce back to test it, sell it off. Does that happen? I know this camera's frustrating me, but I was doing a lot of work to this stream, so it probably doesn't know what to do right now because I was adding and doing a bunch of stuff. That's going to be the level, right? And in order for me to buy, I either need to be down here at 425 or I need to be buying it right here at like 429. I'll see like if we can hold 431, but 431 to 433, it's $2. Is it worth it? Why not just wait? So I'll probably trade other things. You did have a nice little increase in volume here too. We might go down. I'm not ruling that out. I'm also not ruling out the upside either. Right? Head and shoulder left. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It breaks the neckline, curls up to retest the neckline, which would be up here at 432.97, 433. We can't get through it. That's what I'm thinking. So, I'm going to keep everything in mind, right? I'm just going to, I'm not going to be overly bearish and I'm not going to be overly bullish. I'm just going to, you know what? If I'm going to look to get long, it's going to be at a support level, at a place that I know. It's not going to take me long to know. It's not going to take me to lose much money to say, hey, we're still going down, right? I still have work to do to come up with all my theses, when and where and how I think the data is, because I got to go back through the data, look at the data, right? What's the trend of the data, right? You have a lot of ISM data this week, ISM manufacturing, ISM services, you have Powell, you have JOLTS jobs openings, you have non-farm payroll, which is the cracker, right? That's the big one. I think this, I'm pretty sure we have non-farm payrolls, right? Dude, I think this data, Friday, is what's going to dictate this market's move, honestly. We could chop around. I wouldn't be surprised if we just, buy the low, sell the high. ISM services, PMI. And we don't have, we have JOLTS job openings, but yeah, it's just ISM and S&P stuff. So I'll work on that. And I'll see you guys in the morning, unless you guys have any other questions and stuff like that. My eyes are going to be on, for sure, the 20 and 30 year bond. Okay? Because of that heavy resistance levels up there. All right? If we sell off in the markets because this breaks, it probably doesn't stop. Not that the markets don't stop, but I'm talking about this yields, right? This is what I'm watching right here. All right, that's what I'm watching. 4.75, guys, watch it. If you start closing 4.8, dude, you have room to 5.5 or 5.3. I'm sorry, 5.4 really is what it is. I'll be watching the dollar, and I'll just see how levels do. I'll see what Powell says. I don't think he's going to talk up or down the markets. We just need things to help us in the right direction, right? You had the government briefly, I think it's 45 days if I'm not mistaken. So we're still this issue is still not over with. But if you start seeing Ford and GM figure their stuff out, and you start seeing labor markets starting to solve, like we start seeing the unemployment data start to come in good, then that's all going to be good signs that the Fed wants to see, the markets are going to want to see, right? You don't want the government to open up and then, there's just still no deal and like unemployment's going lower. Like none of that is helping. Whatever the government does, you still have a bunch of you still have the inflation aspect. So we want like good things to happen and continue to happen in other parts, right? Data, obviously 4GM and more banks. So again, right here, if you don't know, I usually will have a script so I cover everything and I'm good. Start watching this. It comes out Wednesday, right? It comes out on Wednesdays. If you start seeing this rise, what is this? This is the bank liquidity or this is the Fed's liquidity that they're giving the banks. So if you see this rise, you're going to know without being told, hey, banks are struggling with depositors. They need money. I don't think we see it go up too much higher. Maybe it goes up a little bit, pulls back a little bit. It kind of just sits there. We'll see. All right, so that's another thing that we can watch because that's going to be a sign because you still have banks, right? Banks are still good. As rates are continuing to rise, usually banks should do somewhat well, right? They should be making decent money. But when you go from where we were to, when you take rates from, where they were to a year and a half later up 5.5%, they position themselves. They weren't, being positioned accordingly and whatnot, and it's hard to make money in that environment. You want things to happen, like you want that easing process. What would be bearish for the SPY? That's a good question. So what would be bearish? Well, you could have Powell come out tomorrow and say he's still worried that they're not getting a hold of the jobs data and that raising rates may not do anything and it may just take a long time. He could come out and say tomorrow, we're doing so much. Either we got to start thinking about raising rates higher, or it's just, you start seeing. You said what would be bearish, right? Seeing JOLTS job openings, the non-farm payrolls. If you start seeing initial jobless claims keep ticking lower, right? That's not helping the cause. That's not helping the demand side, right? The Fed really wants this on there. The Fed is focused on employment right now. I promise, because I'm promising you, because the Philly Fed, Harker, I think is his name, from Philly. He came on Friday and had a sit down on CNBC when we had the last Fed meeting. All right. Or no, this not summary of economic projections, but Jackson Hole, right? Jackson Hole, he specifically said, and he's a voting member, they need the labor market to soften. They need it to soften. That's the only way they're going to get the demand side under control. And if they can get the demand side under control, or the supply side, the demand, right? That'll help the supply side. They're trying to tackle inflation. They need the whatchamacallit. Look at it, guys. And what did we get? We almost ticked to 190-some thousand. Look at it. It's still dropping. Initial jobless claims. Now, this is a little difficult to read, right? Because there could be people that are laid off that just aren't, filing for benefits, right? Or filing, hey, government, I'm out of a job. I need help. So, but it's still lowering. It's still lowering no matter how you look at it for what the cause is. So, non-farm payroll. Tomorrow, Fed. Or Jay Powell, him hinting at, we've done a lot, we want to wait, but if, things are just still way too strong right now. The labor market's at, unemployment's at an all-time low. We needed to get to that that high 3, mid 3, low 4s, right? No, what happened? Guys, I've been working right here. Haven't watched news or anything. Oh, what, for New York? No, I'm not. I'll have to see. Supposedly every phone, radio, TV, I don't know about computer, but supposed to be alerted for an hour long or something. A lot of people scared about it. Oh. Is this? Yeah, I will. Let's do it. I wonder if this is just Biden and Obama. Obviously, Obama's not there, but them just wanting to get into your phones again like they did in the Obama administration. They could just be re-sending out, because they do it for everything, for storms and stuff, and it's good, but there's just certain people that I think may take it too far and shouldn't be trusted with that. I think it should be something that you have the opportunity to sign up for if you want it, if you'd like to have it. What should I type in? What's up with this female alert? Let's see what it says. Holy shit. Some chat in here. What's up with this female alert, Google? So it's just a test, I guess. They've done it before. Warning the public amount of emergencies. Yeah, they've done it before. They're probably switching to a new system. Is probably what it is. Oh shit. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm just, guys, I'm gonna be watching just AMD, Microsoft. Microsoft has that London or Europe thing coming up in October. With the two companies that they're trying to buy. I think it was, Activision and Take-Two or something like that. So that's going to be coming back in the news. You'll probably hear about it too. Yeah, I know, right? Y2K, right? I did great, bro. I went 3-0, 2-0 college. I sent it out. I even gave it out in the stream, and I didn't say it. Friday, Oregon State, but I went pretty heavy on BYU. I went pretty heavy. That was my favorite play of the week. BYU was my favorite play of the week. And then I took the Ravens today. There was a lot of NFL actually today I liked, but I said, let me just take the Ravens, and I was working. So I really wasn't even worried about it because, I had a really nice night with BYU. I threw a couple $100 on Oregon State. But I hammered BYU and kind of wasn't worried about it. But I'm looking at that Cleveland line at +2? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it changed after I got it or not. I'm like, dude, Ravens, and it was a no-sweat game. So it went 1.5 by kickoff. Because my casino will give different numbers than what DraftKings and FanDuel has. Like, they'll add their own half a point or not because they want to push. You know what I mean? They want to push you on the wrong side. Like, Yes, Bingo, you have a good night too, man. I'm getting ready to get off here myself. I'm going to be back in here early. All right? I still got a lot of work to do. I got to finish up doing what I was doing with the stream. I'll be on about 7:30 in the morning. Stream is going to look different tomorrow. If you go back, there's just a piece of it in the beginning of this. So if you go back, you'll be able to see like what I did, right? It's just a piece. So yeah, man, you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm out of here too, man. I just want to say thank you guys for being here. We're all here. One job. We got one number. Our job is to make that number bigger. Don't overthink it. All right. Our job is, we got one number. Our job is to make that number bigger no matter how we do it. I don't care if we sell spreads, whatever. I don't care if we buy stocks outright. Don't care how small or how big it is. Remember that. As long as you make that number bigger, you did your job. You guys have a good night.